Hi everybody, I am on the center rink at the Pepsi Center, and behind me there are some mom bloggers test driving the blizzak Bridgestone winter tires versus their all-weather tires, and we are about to hop in a car with me behind the wheel to give these tires a test run, and I will let you know how they stack up, and we're also going to provide some winter driving tips. So we are with Mark Cox, and Mark, what is your title at Bridgestone?
I'm the director of the Bridgestone Winter Driving School in Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
And we are here on the middle of the Pepsi Center's ice rink talking about winter driving, and you are going to provide us with some great tips for altering our habits when we're on ice and snow.
Absolutely. There are a lot of different things that you can do to improve your chances of avoiding an accident in less than ideal conditions. One of the simplest things is that most people don't realize that it takes from 4 to 10 times longer to stop on ice and snow-covered roads than on dry pavement. So think about your following distance and increase it by 4 to 10 times to give yourself that required margin for error in a slippery situation.
And then if you do find yourself in a slide, what's the best thing to do?
Well, the first thing is don't panic. Just because you're sliding doesn't mean all is lost. It just means that you, as a driver, need to make the proper correction. Secondly, you have to determine what type of slide that you're in. There are really 5 different types of slides, but we can narrow it down to 2 for this discussion. The first type of slide is when you're driving down the road, you turn the steering wheel and nothing happens. The car just tends to go straight. In that case, if you're still accelerating in a corner, take your foot off of the gas. You shouldn't be accelerating and steering at the same time anyway. It's operator error. So by lifting off the gas and decreasing your steering angle or turning it a little bit back towards straight, it allows weight transfer to occur to the front of the vehicle, the wheels to start rolling and regain grip, and then you can steer smoothly through the corner once again. If on the other hand the rear wheels are sliding, particularly at a higher speed, we've all heard steer into the skid. I mean, that's true. A better way to look at it for a lot of folks is to look in the direction that you would rather have the car be going and point the front wheels there. And you can also add just a little bit of acceleration. And that's pretty counterintuitive for most people. But what you're doing is not adding speed to a bad situation. It's creating a weight transfer to the rear wheels because that's why they've lost traction.
And then what's scarier to you, ice or snow?
It just depends on the situation because sometimes wet, slushy snow can be more troublesome. Sometimes ice can be the most slippery. But the main thing to remember is in either condition is that temperature is key. When it's right near freezing, both ice and snow are more slippery because there's free water that lubricates the surface. As it gets towards 0 or even below 0, typically the traction increases because there's no water to act as a lubricant on the surface. So it's really important to notice during a trip, as the temperature particularly increases toward freezing, that it's going to get more slippery.
Thank you so much for these tips.
Sure.
After those tips, it was time for the drivers to head behind the wheel on the Pepsi Center rink and give the blizzaks their own test drives. We are testing the blizzaks on turns. The car in front of us does not have blizzaks, and you'll see we're now, bye! He's heading off into the ice rink. We are staying. We are at the Pepsi Center, and we are comparing the Bridgestone blizzaks, that's the car in the red, against a normal all-weather tire. You can see the acceleration much better on ice than the all-weather, and the stopping much better as well. So there we go. We just wrapped our testing, our ice driving, and I definitely can see a big difference in the blizzak tires versus the all-weather. Highly recommend that everyone checks their tires for their normal wear patterns and considers investing in winter tires. For more top lifestyle trends, visit momtrends.com.